Now we will take your questions. It would be helpful for us if you could identify yourself, which of the media you come from. Yes, Ramesh?
Thank you, Chairman. My question is for both you and Pei Ling, and one question for Mr. Gan. For Mr. Lim and Pei Ling, I would like to focus on the issue of age of candidates. You did speak about casting the net wide, but do you think, being too young, in the case of one of the younger ones like Pei Ling, would that be a disadvantage for the younger candidates to, actually look up to the cadres and the more senior grassroots leaders and to command the kind of respect at the ground after they are elected, and also with residents? That question is for both Mr. Lim and Pei Ling. And for Tianpo, as Mr. Lim mentioned, your involvement in the Potong Pasir Community Club. Perhaps you can share with us what were the difficulties in managing a community club in an opposition ward. Thank you.
Let me venture to answer the question first. I think, first of all, we need within the party a slate of candidates that will be able to look after the interests of the different sectors of society. So we need a mix of young and old. However, we do need to renew ourselves. So it means that we need to bring in younger people, give them the opportunity to gain experience of how to serve the people, and in time hone their skills to be able to serve people well. Now, can the young person relate to the old? When I first came into the political scene, I myself was not as young as Pei Ling, but I was 33. I did not feel that I had the problem relating to the older residents in that constituency of Kebun Baru. I think it depends on whether one is able to communicate, one is able to understand how the older person feels. I have to say that throughout my political career, even at the age of 33, I had no problems relating with the old. So I think it all depends on Pei Ling, how she conducts herself, whether she is one of those young people who are purely on the internet and displaying the behavior and values that people tend to associate with her generation, or whether she is a person who is outgoing, able to talk to the senior citizens in the constituency in which she serves. I don't know the strength of her dialect, but I know she speaks Mandarin well. It would be helpful if she could speak some dialect, because some of the much older residents in her constituency might still be very much dialect speaking, even if they have over the years picked up Mandarin and are able to understand Mandarin. But the closeness of relationship with the older residents in her constituency would depend on the ability to communicate. At the same time, having said that, we're not all proficient in every language. I have to confess up front that I don't speak Malay. However, I don't think that my Malay residents think that I don't serve them. I think it is through your deeds, for what you do, that demonstrate your sincerity of wanting to serve, and whether you actually put their interests first and foremost. And when you do this, over time, people will judge you, and then people will decide whether you are someone they can look to trust. I give you another example in the trade union movement where I've been for many years. I don't speak Mandarin well. I can carry out a conversation in Mandarin, but I cannot make a deep discussion or conversation in the Mandarin. But at the same time, I think over time, the Mandarin speaking among the trade union ground learned that whatever I do it for them. And I think that's what counts. So in the end, it's not the age you come in, but it's the attitude you take, and whether you come in to serve or you come in for yourself. And I believe Pei Ling comes in not for herself, but for the chance to serve the people. Pei Ling.
Thank you. I think there is no doubt that I'm probably one of the youngest among the slate. I am definitely young. And I think there would be some room for me to grow as well as to build the experience. But I think that although I'm young, I have the energy, the youthfulness, the attitude, the willingness to learn and serve the residents or the people that I will represent. So although I've been in the grassroots for the past 7 years, I have deep respect for the more senior grassroots leaders and the volunteers that I have come into contact with, and I've always learned from them that it's always about serving with the heart. Language is one way of communicating with people from different segments. So I can converse in English, I can converse in Mandarin, dialect, tampo a little bit. Then Malay, sikit I can understand a little bit, but maybe not very good at it. But I'm trying to learn more about this Malay and the dialect. So give me a little bit of time. I think I would be able to master it a little bit better and better to communicate with them. But I think in general, at the end of the day, age shouldn't be an issue. It's really about the potential and the capacity to learn, to reach out to people of different segments, and to understand them and come up with meaningful initiatives, solutions, or ways to help them. So I think in my past 7 years as a volunteer in the grassroots, as a volunteer at MPS, I've come into contact with residents from all walks of life, be it the seniors or the middle class or the working class, basically, even the younger crowd about my age. So far, I don't see any problem or challenges in communicating with them. In fact, I would like to think that I get along quite well with many of the senior citizens that I've come into contact with. So I'm quite confident that I would be able to communicate with them, and I'm very interested and very keen to get to know them more and do whatever I can, do my best in whatever capacity that I have to help them, to serve them. So I think in all, although I'm young, but I see it positively, I think I will have the energy and I have the potential to do more, to contribute to the society and in Singapore. Thank you.
Tempo?
So I believe your focus will be whether there is a difference between the CC in Operation Ward and the PAP Ward. I think, as you all know, CC, the objective is actually to bond the Singaporean together. That has not been changed. So whether there is a change, I don't think so, right? Because no doubt, currently I'm in Pass 3, Punggol, GRC. What I understand, I think the same challenges actually is faced by both CC. So I can safely say I don't see any difference. That will be my answer. Thank you.